All right, welcome, Rangers. You all are a member of Ranger Team Foxtrot. We find ourselves in Arizona, 2096, roughly 7 or 8 years after the events of Wasteland 1, and roughly 7 or 8 years before the events of Wasteland 2, for all of you Wasteland fans out there. Ranger Team Foxtrot's a seasoned team, but after several Wasteland-related deaths that tend to happen to Wasteland Rangers, it's actually comprised largely of rookie Rangers. I would like all of you to introduce your Rangers to the group.
I'm Caitlyn Trout, senior technical artist. I am technically an artist with inXile. And my character is the one veteran in the group. You see a straight-laced, thoroughly starched veteran ranger. You know the type, always shine boots. She has short blonde hair, shaved on the right-hand side, revealing a scar from a fairly recent head injury. Her uniform is perfectly maintained with not a stain or tear, save for the massive black hole with sin's edges on the right shoulder. She carries an assault rifle close to the chest, strap slung over her shoulders, and one gloved hand is always hovering near the trigger. Bennet takes great pride in being a ranger, upholding their values, believes that they are duty-bound to help those in need and keep order in the chaos. So stalwart is she that she's earned the nickname Old Ironsides, because she just won't stay down, for better or for worse. In fact, she's only spent a couple weeks in the infirmary after the latest grave head injury. Many of you are surprised to see her back in action, and it's clear she's not operating at 100%, but Dr. Gunn insists she's fine.
It's fine.
And with that, let's introduce Todd.
Hi, I'm Todd Moulder. I am an engineer at inXile Entertainment. Worked on Wasteland 3, very fun experience. My character is Ranger Ray Gunn. Probably the first thing you notice about him is the rubber duck. That's because he holds it in pride of place on his shoulder most times, because it has saved him in so many situations. The rubber duck always knew. If Ranger Ray Gunn was in a tight spot, it was a goddamn rubber duck that pulled the clutch, right? Brilliant in yellow, an appropriate contrast to Ranger Ray, who is a little on the dull side, not the smartest guy, but he knows if he just keeps trying, he'll get it out. Of course, with the help of a rubber duck, anything's possible. He was abandoned at about the age of 6 by his parents, but memory betrayed them long ago at this point. It's been about 20 years. He's been running around the wastelands, wandering Arizona, studying government science archives, and, just tinkering with robots to get by and maybe earn a few cigarettes. Bennett's totally fine, I swear. Worked on her myself. But other than that, pretty average human beings as far as physical traits come along. Ronald really never talks about the duck's origins, but someone once did pull a prank with it and got a laser hole in their leg for it, so I wouldn't fuck with the duck.
Awesome. Tamar, please introduce yourself.
So I'm Tamar Goldberg. I'm a tools engineer at inXile, and my character is Olivia Elizabeth Ingles. She's about early mid 30s, blonde, looks kind of normal, but if you do kind of look closer, she's covered in fox hair, and that's because she has a little fox, which she calls Dr. Fox. And basically a few years ago, she just woke up, middle of nowhere, remembering nothing but her name, and then the fox came and just told her, this is not real. This is all simulation. She doesn't remember the exact word. But yeah, you're playing a game right now, and the best way to beat the game is to join the Rangers and complete missions. So you'll just finish quests, level up, and then you'll finish the game and go back to your regular life. So that's what she's doing. Nothing here is real, and she needs to beat the game. And the fox never actually told her name. He refused to tell her his name, so she just calls him Dr. Fox. And that's Olivia.
Ben, please introduce yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Ben Moise. I am a senior level designer here at inXile Entertainment. I'm going to be playing the Kicksmasher, who is based on a test character I used to debug Demanta back when I first joined the company for Wasteland 2. The Kicksmashers had a hard life, rough living out in the Arizona wastes, He ran with some men, ran with some monsters. The Kicksmasher did what he needed to stay alive in the wastes. And he did that much better than all the dead people who did not make it. Once upon a time, he was hunting some bear, waste wolf, or something. He doesn't know what those fuzzy things are, and found that his quarry was about to get a meal itself. And when he smashed up that creature, he found out that man was willing to reward him with a new home and a fancy shiny star. And that is how the Kicksmasher became a ranger. He is not the sharpest bulb in the crayon box, but he also doesn't understand analogies, and trying to explain that to him will make him try and hit you. He wears shoddily constructed scrap metal armor to protect himself and hide how radiation has ravaged his body after years of wandering the inhospitable desert. His favorite weapon, a very fancy thing, is a concrete block with a steel cable embedded in it. He also knows exactly 2 or 3 things about explosives.
Lovely. And I suppose it comes to me. Hi, I'm David Rogers. I'm a game director here at inXile, and I was the director on Wasteland 3. And today I'll be playing the role of the Supreme Jerk, effectively game mastering our band of stalwart heroes through the wasteland in an attempt to right the wrongs and restore civilization, one bullet at a time. So, Ranger Team Foxtrot, after thwarting a 16-wheeler wielding duo of roving desert brigands going by the moniker the Red Scorpion Militia, you find yourselves at the Southern Scrapyard. The time is 11:04 a.m. You were sent here to investigate a lead on a spree of missing children. Locals reported seeing leprechauns in the area of the scrapyard. You figured you'll either find some kids or a pot of gold. Either way, it's worth checking out. After a long tour of the scrapyard, you find yourself at the tail end of an interrogation with the Scrapmaster, a frisky but gentle sexagenarian by the name of Scrappy Studebaker. He has some explaining to do. Now, Rangers! If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times! I don't know who those children are, I don't know where they found those jaunty sailor suits, and I don't know where they learned that elaborate choreographed dance routine! This is some sort of setup, I tell ya!
Look, children don't just know jaunty routines, okay?
Olivia just is like, you're lying. And is he lying?
You can take a perception check.
Ooh, that will be a 10.
10. You feel that he does seem victimized, and you can tell that he does feel genuinely like he's been set up. He kind of feels like he's on the defensive, and you believe him when he says he's not sure where those children learned that elaborate choreographed dance routine.
What are we thinking?
This son of a bitch Scrappy knows more than what he's saying. You might not know about these dances or whatnots, but I tell you what, you know something about them. You're going to tell us.
Throughout the interrogation, in the background of the scrapyard, every few minutes you'll periodically see small 3-foot-tall, baby blue sailor kind of prance between piles of scrap capriciously, kind of snickering to himself. The Kicksmasher picks up his cinder block and lets out a battle cry and runs headlong into the scrapyard. Right as that begins to happen, you hear a squawk on your radio. Foxtrot, P1 copy. Foxtrot, P1 copy. P1 copy being a code you're familiar with, meaning a priority 1 call.
This is Echo, we copy, go ahead.
It's Foxtrot. This is Foxtrot.
Grizzled. This is Foxtrot. I've
This
led
is
you astray.
I lean
I've
over
led
and
you
say
astray.
probably too aggressively towards Gunn for getting it wrong.
I said what I said.
Get that kid.
A familiar grizzled voice comes on radio. Oh shit, Team Foxtrot. This is Snake. You read me?
Yes, we read you.
Yeah, we read you, Snake.
I can't read.
You kind of like trudge back in.
Don't rub it in, Vargas.
Something's happened to Ranger Team Juliet, and you're the only team in the area. They were assigned a security detail aboard the Eden's Blessing. And now I can't get through to them. I suspect the worst, and I need you to check it out. Mount up and start driving east. I'll fill you in on the drive.
What about the leprechauns?
Over and out.
The tiny The tiny blue things.
Whatever you're up to, Rangers, it can wait. This is a priority
Yeah.
1 distress issue. I need you to drop everything and start driving east. I'll fill you in on the drive. You mount up into your once red, now sun-bleached pink Chevy Rampage, and you start heading east. You call into Ranger HQ once you're on your way, and you're routed over back to Snake Vargas once again. Hey there, Ranger Team Foxtrot. Here's the situation. The Eden's Blessing, the Nomad's prized engine, left High Pool about 40 minutes ago. Ranger Team Juliet was on board providing security detail for Operation Cornucopia. Cornucopia was need to know, and now you need to know. It was a joint venture between the Rangers, High Pool, and Ag Center. Our chance at turning Arizona from a dusty ashtray to a veritable salad bar. The payload on that train is irreplaceable. We were supposed to touch base with the security detail every 30 minutes, but they were incommunicado in our last check-in. That was 10 minutes ago. Normally I'd give them a little more time, but this mission is too important and my gut tells me something's off. Matt Forrestall here. I'll answer any questions you got, but it's important you Rangers know. On board are the crown jewels of the Ag Center. Our eggheads call it Seymour soil. It's a product of a decades-long research project. That stuff is highly volatile. It's pure dynamite, but in the right hands it could change Arizona. Seymour stands for self-enriching, easily metabolized organic radioactive reagent. This soil, when exposed to low levels of radiation, produces all the nutrients a plant needs to grow 5 times the size and 10 times the speed. This is the key to feeding Arizona. We were in the process of transporting our Seymour soil down to the Southern Railway Station, which is next to the site of our first test garden. We've got 3,000 seed canisters packed up and ready to be planted.
Good to know, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much for that information. Turn the mic off and I say, guys, they're crazy if you're moving this much stuff. We're going to have to be really careful here. Kick smash. Careful what you kick smash.
Oh, the Kicksmasher makes no such promises. Caution is for the weak of heart and those who use guns.
Bennet, make sure he doesn't get around those canisters, please.
I'm really excited to try these canisters.
You act like I
Said
had
that dirt
any
can
kind
feed a
of
family
control.
very quickly. Kicksmasher's eaten dirt before.
Well, it's surrounded by kitty litter. I don't think you're gonna want it, but right.
Kitty
so we
litter,
know
excellent
it's
seasoning for
explosive.
dirt.
So they said they went offline 10 minutes ago, and we're en route. Like, do we know kind of like a general like time to destination, or like we know the route they're taking, so we're gonna try to pick up the trail. Do we see any large tracks that we can pick up on?
So, you happen to know, and this is for Wasteland loreheads out there, this game takes place at a time before the fracturing of the rail nomads. At this time, there is still a semblance of a functioning railway system throughout Arizona. Our rangers find themselves here at the junkyard. High Pool is here. A train left High Pool 40 minutes ago, traveling 70 miles an hour. Who's got nerd stuff?
Dr. Ray Gunn, of course. Let's see if I can carry some twos. Alright, so nerd stuff is going to be the skill. Let's see. So how do I roll this nerd stuff skill?
So it's going to be nerd stuff
just the
plus
pieces.
intelligence.
I missed that on my rundown. Okay, so I am a 4 nerd stuff.
A 4 nerd stuff.
Mhm.
You, with your 4, can at best guesstimate. You're kind of like drawing like pretty generous circles on the map. Like, guys, I think they're somewhere between High Pool and the abandoned railway. I feel pretty confident I've narrowed it down that far.
Tom says he knows where it is, so just let him drive. He'll get us there.
You head further east and you come to the train tracks. After about 30 minutes of driving, you can see on the horizon a plume of white steam, smoke, something, billowing from over the horizon line. You think you've seen the train coming. You can hear the sound ahead of it. It's high-pitched hissing and whirring, and the sound of metal grinding.
Perhaps we should pull over, turn around, and be ready to meet it, as we're coming opposite directions, right? We want to drive alongside it to get it to its destination. Kicksmasher, maybe you should have the harpoon gun ready in case we see anybody who isn't supposed to be driving the train. Yes,
In that case, like, Olivia just slams the brakes and then does like a 180 turn on the spot.
Yes, all of this.
Are you stretching in the back? Is that what's happening?
Getting ready to jump.
There are people on the train.
The train...
Do I shoot them?
Is that Juliet? Does it look like Juliet?
Do they look like rangers?
Like a ranger team?
You can give me a perception check. They're fairly far away right now. This
All right,
is kind
let
of
me use
just
my-
as they're cresting the horizon and you're just kind of checking out silhouettes. You're looking for the telltale sign of some jaunty cowboy hats.
I'll be
Maybe
11.
Let me roll my
11?
pair of D2s.
You...
3.
An 11 is a phenomenal perception roll, and you feel fairly confident that is not a ranger team. You know that it's not uncommon for the rail nomads to train surf, particularly if they're running repairs, en route. But you see a lot of folks up there, and it piques your interest. Something doesn't feel right.
Could be nomads. Could be bad guys. Maybe shoot one of them?
Let's get up there and ask.
No sign of Juliet.
Split the difference. Just murder one.
I'll take a swig. I do have a Fraggles canteen full of squeezins, so I'll take a nice like pre-war chug.
Yep.
Hey.
Get ready.
Hey. Pass out. Kick smash.
Did they notice us? Like, do I see anybody kind of looking at us?
That's a fine thing to do. You're going to do a luck pust gearhead check for stealth driving. You have to do something.
Love it.
I need something.
I don't have. I have gearhead.
You have luck and gearhead?
I don't have gearhead.
Okay, well then it's just a straight luck roll.
That's a D4. That will be great. Ooh,
I'm guessing we are in open desert, so there's not like a bush we can quickly drive behind.
You don't get any like die step bonuses for stealth. No, if you
Tumbleweed.
if only you had thought ahead of time and mounted some tumbleweeds on the front of your car for camouflage.
We
You're
were
like
in a
driving a
junkyard.
ghillie suit.
Darn it.
Well, I got a 3.
All right.
It's good for me because I have a D4. But
Okay. So you, from a distance, have no good way of knowing if they've spotted you.
driving a pink car, so I'm assuming it's.
Driving a pink 1989, I think it was a Chevy Rampage. Whatever. Whoever made the
Okay, so
Rampage.
with all the
from-
confidence in the world, I look at the team and I say, guys, I think we just go in and we get this started. I believe in y'all.
You gotta
Did they
get
start
your
shooting at
harpoon
me?
ready.
As the train comes up, you get up to speed, and the rate at which it passes you becomes increasingly slow as you push your car to its peak of performance.
So I'm imagining like we're going full speed and like sand is coming through the windshield and I'm shouting over it. Just like, all right,
Oh,
Gunn's
bugs.
gonna try to fix the car. Plan B, Kicksmasher, you harpoon the stupid train.
Throw it in neutral. Don't forget to throw it in neutral.
You pull out your harpoon gun, and I'm not sure what your plans are, but talk to me.
Aim it at the train.
Okay, so a harpoon is a heavy weapon, which you're not skilled in, by the by.
No.
The harpoon gun.
No, of course not.
So you're doing a coordination, plus the quality of the weapon, which is D2. But you have no skill, so you don't get to add that. Okay. So, I've got your target numbers. Todd, what'd you get?
So, question first. May I use rubber duck trinket?
How am I doing, boss?
I don't know, you gotta tell me your roll.
5.
5.
It's a big
luckily,
train, right?
Luckily, this is similar to hitting the broadside of a barn. And so a 5...
Very quick moving barn, but
A
barn
5
nonetheless.
is sufficient. You fire the harpoon, and the harpoon strikes
one of
the
them blue
side of the
tanks.
tank,
So I'm gonna put it in my. I'm gonna use my cruise control device, the brick that says cruise control.
Got it.
Put it on the gas. I guess if it's in neutral, it doesn't matter. Like gas doesn't work in neutral.
Well, so if you put it in
Oh.
neutral, then
We're getting
your
dragged.
current then Ben is pushing, Kicksmasher is pushing the car beside the train. I think your cruise control idea. I think your brick. This is a perfect opportunity to put a brick on the accelerator.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my cruise control. I'm gonna put my cruise control on the accelerator, and I'm kind of like, and I'm seeing Ray Gunn kind of like climbing through my rearview mirror. I'm assuming it's still attached to the car. And I just pick up Dr. Fox. I'm sure we'll keep going straight, kind of like just looking at the wheel, kind of like making sure the wheel is not dragging too much.
All right. So just give me a quick intelligence plus mechanics check. You can add your duck.
Okay.
Add your duck.
Okay. Don't fuck with the duck now. 8.
8. All right. Using the seatbelt, you're able to kind of tie the wheel with 2 points of contact and weave it through the steering wheel such that it holds mostly straight. You feel confident. If you let go of this
Always.
wheel, your car will not crash for like 10 or 20 seconds.
Oh, that's good enough. Let's go.
Ray Gunn, you are gung ho. Why don't you be the
Always.
first aboard?
Well, we'll see. I scurry across with a 4 speed.
With a 4,
Max speed.
your 4 gets you across. All right, Olivia,
7 speed.
you stuff Dr. Fox into your pouch where he
Yeah.
sometimes stays, and you both scramble across with a 7 swimmingly. All right, Bennet,
5 athletics and speed.
5. You make it across. Now, Ben, but
All
did
right, the
they?
Kicksmasher wraps one arm around the cable and holds tight with a 9.
With a 9. Glorious. He holds it taut. It's tight like a tiger. And all of you are able to climb aboard the train. You shimmy onto the connector here. That leaves Kicksmasher as the sole occupant of this vehicle.
Oh, well,
Did-
just pull us in. There's no way this will go bad. 10.
With a 10, you gracefully leap onto the side of the vehicle. Oh, that's funny. I just noticed this. There's a certain time of the day where like a laser beam comes in and hits me in my forehead, and it lines up perfectly with my background.
You really are the supreme jerk.
Yeah.
Supreme.
So, Ranger Team Foxtrot finds themselves aboard the train. Olivia peers through the window into the forward train car. You see what seems to be someone in a face mask and lab coat. They're kind of walking back and forth and tending to the plants.
They don't look like they're armed in any way. Do I see any like?
You can't really tell. The windows, like I said, are kind of up high and rather small.
Okay.
You can give me a really hard perception check to try and draw an inference.
7.
That's my robot.
7. You feel assured in your unsuredness. You can't really make heads or tails on whether or not you think they're armed. All right, so give me a sneaky shit check, and then I can use that to test against other people's perception.
All right. I signal back at the party like, and I point up above the train.
Okay.
But I'm gonna continue
Olivia,
forward.
she wants us to go up, and Olivia will continue and start climbing up.
It's a good plan. Let's do it.
I'm gonna move into the car with the scientist if possible, very
All right.
sneakily.
Going up.
So you're opening. So give me a perception check.
Sure. I love the idea of like, all right, there's 2 up there. I'm going forward, and you're like, okay, go up there, and you all go the wrong way. Fantastic.
We're good. We're good at
We
this.
are all veteran rangers and totally understand the hand signals. Oh,
Ranger
there's
team
the 2
Foxtrot.
ones! It happened!
Okay. Upon opening the door, you are knocked back, but seem more or less no worse for wear. The train car is filled with smoke. As you regain your composure, Todd, over the radio, you hear, "Those fucking scientists tried their luck! They blew the trap on the door! Somebody's gotta go check them and make sure they're all dead."
Damn it.
I hear this echoing on
and I want to
walkie.
also take an opportunity to call out on further inspection, the carnage not only has been racked on this train car, but also the windows have now been blown out and parts of the sides of the car are now perforated and open. You can hear the whistling of the wind, which is now starting to kind of disperse the smoke inside. But yeah, the portions of the train car nearest to you, the sides are kind of not like totally open, but like Swiss cheese.
How are the pipes doing?
Good question. So far, so good.
They don't look like broken, leaking. My Geiger counter is not going like we should definitely not go in that train.
No, your Geiger counter is not setting off in any particularly notable way. When you run up close enough, give me a perception check.
Okay, let's see if I do better than 2 1s this time. God, I had it.
Second bomb.
Your suspicion. Give yourself a die step bonus for your heightened suspicion. 11. You see ahead of you a device strapped to the interior of the door. A wire connects it and the train car body. It is an encased device inside what appears to be like a sheet metal housing that's been bolted to the door. You suspect it's a similar trap.
Okay, that changes some things then. I don't think they're going to come
4
through
AP.
that. I'm not waiting for them to come through that door is a terrible idea. Can I grab underneath the arms of the person in front of me and start dragging them back towards my friends away from the trap? That's what I'm going to do with the person.
You
closest
can
to me.
at half speed.
Okay, so I will use all the rest of my how much ever it takes to get one person to safety.
It took you 2 to get over to here, so it would take you 4 to get them out of the train car. You can get one of them out of the train car with 4 AP.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save one person.
Okay. And it looks to you like an ag center employee. As you're dragging them, you can hear the soil. We gotta protect the soil. Ray went, and we go to Bandit 1. The bandit, being hit and then seeing me run past, turns around and pulls his pistol and goes, "Not so fast, you son of a bitch!" And he pulls his pistol and tries to shoot you in the back as you run. Okay? Give me your evasion.
13.
13.
I bring light cover everywhere with me. Right here.
So the first shot, goes wide and misses. He fires a second time.
Also a 13.
Jeez, oh man. All right.
D68. There's a reason the Kicksmasher, longest living champion of all the people Kicksmasher ever run with.
Lastly, we have Olivia.
I'm hearing commotion up there, and I know there's another person in there. I will continue climbing up. Can you get me close to the bandit?
You are next to him.
And I brought Dr. Fox with me.
Okay.
And with the 5 AP I have left, I'm going to make some probably very poor choices of just 5.
Okay. You spent 1 AP. Yes, 5. That makes sense. All right. Give me a punch. So these are unarmed attacks. You're considered to have a D2 fist. So it's going to be your coordination plus your skill, which you have none in for brawling. Yep. Plus D2 for your fists. So coordination plus D2.
So I'm going to roll again. Well, I guess I rolled a 2 on the punch, and the speed is a 1. So a 3.
3. Miss.
Okay. Second punch. And a 1, 6.
6. Just barely not enough, but he dodges the attack.
Okay. The third punch. 6 and a 2, so 8.
You hit.
Okay.
You land a gut punch.
Yeah.
And what's the damage?
So you do. It's going to be D2 plus strength, but because you're doing an unarmed attack, it's -2 die steps in
So-
damage.
You
So 2d2.
With your strength. 2d2.
4. That's a 2 and a 2, so 4.
4! Alright, so his armor blocks 2 of that, but the 2 damage that sneaks through is enough to have him crumple over, lose his balance, and then tumble off the side of the train. Bennet?
Well, I have no idea what's happening with Kicksmasher above. I hear shots go off and some running, and so I feel morally responsible for putting this other person in harm's way. So I'm going to spend my turn running in, grabbing the second scientist, and pulling him to an equal level of safety away from the trap.
Okay. We kind of determined that similarly.
So-
It basically takes all of your AP running in and pulling him out. So I'm going to grab the scientist. You pull them to safety with your turn. Alright, now comes a new bandit's turn. You hear from the far end of the car, "You fucking scientist! I told you not to move or I was going to blow you to hell!" A strong kick lurches the door open, and you see and hear a similar boosh as the door sends open. The trap is set off, and the rest of the train car is
saved two!
sent to switch cheese.
I murdered
They're,
4.
The Kicksmasher
They don't
heard
know
it
that,
was
so-
one of the militia guys who blew up the trap.
I'm actually shooting blindly
just
Three
just
times, or
you're
twice.
shooting blindly through here.
into the smoke. Yeah.
Okay, I just want you get to roll luck plus weapon skill. That's it. Pow pow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So your homebrew laser pistol gets wound up and fires molten hot sparks at supersonic speed through the door. Give me your
The
luck.
first will be 11.
All right. And what's your second?
Second will be 11 to hit.
Holy cow. All right. Well, tell me your damage. You don't know the results of what's going on, but tell me your damage, and maybe
Sure.
it hit somebody, maybe it didn't.
So my weapon skill is a D4, small arms, and weapon quality is a D2.
I don't like how many rolling things he's doing right now. Well, we can detach this car right here and save some of the soil and 2 scientists and just call it good. Always it out.
Is that our plan? At any point it gets too crazy, we just go back 1 car, hit the latch.
It's always a possibility.
Normally the cars are connected by, it's pretty sturdy, and there's some tools that would be used to disconnect it. There's a chance that your explosive device might be able to blow the 2 cars apart. Otherwise, you're not sure that you have the tools that the rail nomads have for attaching and disconnecting cars.
Problem is
But-
there are like fuel rods in the next car.
Kicksmasher, you can roll up your strength and athletics.
Boy, I love doing that, because that's a 15, David. Kicksmasher put a shitload of points in brute force.
Olivia, you're like, I'm positive that those are stable rods. They're not going to explode or anything, but if damaged and shattered, they could irradiate a wide area. If they got into the water supply, that'd be bad news.
Okay, but
So,
like
Kicksmasher. You're smashing the door. So this door is generally well beyond what a human could destroy, but you do successfully smash through the window leading
I'm
into...
coming for ya!
And so he tries to pull open the door. He gets frustrated. He takes his mallet. He swings it around and he hits it against the plexiglass. It's like a couple inches thick plexiglass, and manages to smash that clean open. Shrapnel flies in. The large figure in the diving bell kind of wheels his whole torso around, and he goes, "Looks like there's someone that wants a stomp smashing."
Oh, you yellow-bellied coward, come on out here and challenge the Kicksmasher. Don't hide behind me.
Oh, you're talking to the king right now, buddy. This is my house.
Jumpy Prince, bring it on out here!
Oh, if you want to step into the ring, you're more than welcome, buddy.
I'm trying, but you're keeping me out, you lily-bellied coward.
You're too much of a wuss to step into the ring with the smash kicker.
Can I throw in the bomb over my shoulder through the window on the other side to
You
blow open the
certainly
door?
can.
I grab Kicksmasher and
Thank
push
you,
him to the
Bennet.
side like as the explosion goes off.
After a brief delay, you prime the charge as Olivia instructed. There's a ding, 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 ding. You toss it in, and then you hear firework crackers as this chain reaction of like bullets fire off that's encased in like improvised shrapnel that she's tied to it, and like smoke starts pouring out. There's screaming, and eventually you can see this gout of thick black smoke comes through the small little porthole. You peer through, and you see everyone who's previously in the car is dead or lying, bleeding, injured.
Get back up! We have a
Get the
fight!
door open.
Open the door! Don't
You
lay
open
down
the
on
door,
here,
you
man!
Kicksmasher! Somebody open the door! Oh god!
The
Dr. Fox.
through his diving bell, you can see the smash kicker kind of being in the closest proximity to the explosion. His abdomen is bleeding pretty heavily. He goes,
Kicksmasher, you son of a bitch! You're gonna die a yellow-bellied dog! You wouldn't fight me, you coward!
Can Olivia from the roof? She tries to shoot the switch, the switch handle, like the switch off. To break it.
that is, you can certainly. I'm glad you asked.
Smile. Did you have
I know
there?
exactly how hard that is. I wish you the best of luck.
Near
So
impossible.
the train's moving at 70 miles an hour.
3d4s. 10.
10.
Whew.
That,
Ugh.
despite your heroic roll, a
Ah.
10 is merely hard. And this is really, really hard. The train veers off to the left. You can tell as the train barrels forward, the kind of the air current that gets pushed aside it, you can tell it veers off in what you think is going to be sand. But as it goes forward, and as you're looking at the tracks, there has been tracks laid in the desert and has been covered over with the lightest coating of sand. And as the train passes the switch, it veers off. In the distance, you can see the silhouette of the prison.
What now?
Some quick thinking is in order.
Right. Well, can I reach my arm in because there's a hole and just
Dr. Fox.
open it?
It's you can take a lock picking attempt. Mr. Ray Gunn, give me a weird science check so you can determine how long you think it's going to take you to reach the prison.
Would this be sneaky
No,
shit
not
and
weird science.
coordination?
I'm sorry. Nerd stuff.
Nerd stuff.
You're just doing good old-fashioned math. As you pass the truck, I'm going to move you up, Olivia, with the rest of your party, just for the sake of coordinating your actions.
10 on the lockpicking check.
10. You, after several minutes, are
Ugh.
able to click, get the door open, it swings open. Everyone at this point is dead or near death's door as they're bleeding out and moaning. The driver is leaning up against the wall, gaunt. It looks like the artery in his leg has been severed by some of the shrapnel. The frail fuel rod operator has keeled over, probably from the overpressure alone. The controls look damaged.
Gunn, stop the train! As I yell at you.
I'm gonna make it better. I'm gonna make it worse.
That's all we ask.
So anything regarding that nuclear engine is going to be weird science, and that's going to be your domain.
Okay.
Todd, you're trying to repair the control panel.
Got an 8 on it.
You're able to get partial functionality back. Specifically, you find in here some centralized controls for attaching and detaching train cars. That seems to run back. So you find controls relating to acceleration and deceleration. The brake controls don't seem fully operational.
I slam decelerate into full, and I start disconnecting cars.
Wait. So, okay,
So-
you let us know.
All of them.
You're gonna let the engine go and we're gonna get off?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we want to be wherever this is going.
If we can accelerate the engine after detaching to have it collide in the prison, can I make sure that makes a nice, beautiful explosion?
You can set this thing into a much like the demon core, you can set this thing into a a dangerous self-reinforcing chain reaction.
Okay. If that's the plan we're going, I double check, and if that's what we're doing, I'm gonna set it up to do that.
I'm already going.
Yeah, all right.
All
I
right.
jump onto the car we're detaching from. We should detach everything but the engine, obviously. We don't want the fuel rods to go with, because that'll be way too much of an explosion.
Let me know when y'all are ready. I'll hit the button. I'm running.
Yeah, me too.
I set it
I'm
up
already out.
and I run.
Ray gun, throttle up the accelerator, and you put the engine into high gear. The rest of the party piles on top of the fuel rod car, surfing it as they go. The car, it remains, has just Olivia and Ray gun. Ray gun puts it into high gear. The last step of this plan is you, Olivia. What you're going to do is you're going to cause a critical mass in the core. You're going to basically drop all the fuel rods in and fully encase them to set off that massive chain reaction. You're the last piece of this puzzle. You know, as soon as you dump those fuel rods in, you're going to get hit with a blast of radiation. You advise Ray gun that he should probably leave before you pull the trigger. So we have Dr. Fox and Bennet on top of the car.
I'm gonna start making my way. Like, I'm gonna try to get to the next car over, because I want to get away from any possible nuclear fall off that I can, and I want to secure our scientists, make sure they're safe.
Kicksmasher climbs up. I think you're kind of hanging off the front of the car. In spirit of what you're talking about, you think maybe you could catch somebody potentially. You're hanging off the front of the car.
Kicksmasher will be here to protect your friends. Kicksmasher's a team player.
Ray gun has climbed on top of the car, and Olivia is at the core. As you stay here at the controls, to enact your plan, you start by disconnecting the engine from the rest of the car. With a flip of a switch, you hear a click. The two joining elements open up, and carried by the momentum, it begins to slowly come apart. You absolutely can. The Kicksmasher reaches down, wraps his foot into one of the handlebars, and attempts to grab the train. You're going to roll for that here in a little bit. Olivia, you trudge up the steps, and you know the sequence of events you're going to pull off to set this thing into cataclysm. Are you ready? Fuel rod 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You inject them all. They're meant to be done in series. All of them lower in and combined for critical mass. You enclose the reactor, and immediately a bright blue glow bursts out. You feel nauseous. You make a break for it. I need a strength.
There, Olivia.
I need a strength check plus athletics.
I don't have athletics, so it's just pure strength.
Your strength. Give me a check.
Maybe resistance. There is a derived stat called resistance.
Oh yes, you're good call. You are using resistance. Totally.
That's better than my D4 strength.
Strength plus luck.
Hot damn!
Look at you.
Read the rule book.
Yeah.
That's a 7.
That's cheating.
A 7. All right. You grit your teeth. You feel nauseous, but you hold it back, knowing that you're on a mission.
Yeah.
You've got a job to do. You stumble forward, kind of holding back dry heaves. You can feel the radiation kind of like ripping through your body, but in your mind, you see the bonus points
Go.
racking up, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna get the high score. It's happening. You grab the railing, one hand at a time. You work your way down the steps. You stumble towards the control panel. The numbers are flashing. You're gonna make the high score meter. You're gonna see those credits. You push forward. Give me one more resistance check. You're halfway there, Olivia.
7 again.
7 again. You keep pushing. You stumble off the box. You hit the side of the wall. You move there. You stop. You dry heave. But you can't leave Dr. Fox as an orphan. You're all he's got. You've got to make it. You stumble to the door. Kicksmasher is there. He's hit 1 foot's on the railing. 2 hands are on the car. He's trying to hold it together.
Oh! 12 on my strength, 2 on my athletics, 14.
14. And you can tell he's being pulled apart. The midsections of his armor are starting to tear. He's wearing like an armored tube top. As he looks taller than he's ever been, but he's gritting his teeth. Your teeth are starting to crack as you're gritting yourself, and you're going, kick smash, save the day. Olivia, give me a strength check plus athletics. You're holding on. You barely make it across the gap. Natural 1.
Yeah.
Yes.
You stumble off. Give me a strength plus luck.
Well, because for resistance, I think I have +1 because I did the survivalist or
Actually,
something.
I should correct it. It's your luck plus your fox's strength.
My luck plus my What? Well, that's a D2, so let me roll that again. My luck is a 2, and my fox's strength is a 1, so that's 3.
Okay. Ray, you see her stumbling over. The fox jumps down, but to no effect, grabs the collar of your sleeve, but tears it off. Ray, you can take a chance to snatch her. Kicksmasher, you're still holding onto the train. She stumbles, fainting, over the railing. The fox jumps forward, grabs a piece of your shirt, or your sleeve, and it tears off. Ray grabs onto the railing and goes for your hand, but misses. You hit the ground. You get swept under the train. And with a crunch.
Do I see credits? Do I see the end credits?
Only you know if you saw the end credits, Olivia.
Well, we'll never be able to thank her for the life she saved.
Let go of the engine, Kicksmasher.
I'm gonna destroy the train. Yeah, that's the one.
In the distance, Kicksmasher, you give a resigned grunt. You pull yourself back on the train. You let go. As soon as you do, your train car slows to a crawl, and you see the nuclear-powered train set on full acceleration start speeding away from you. You pant. After a few minutes, your train comes to a halt, and you see the train engine careen into the distance. And once you think it's all done, a mushroom cloud raises up from the prison.
It's problematic. We should probably go.
Over the radio, you hear a squawk.
Rangers, by God, you persevered. We're sending an extraction team.
And as you wait, you see a very stinky and said fox step off the train and walk into the...
Should we stop it? No. Let it go.
Let's go get Olivia. Maybe we can put her back together.
You've done it once. You guys walk back the rest of the trail. Kicksmasher picking pieces up, holding a bucket. Now he's...
No, putting it in Smash Kicker's bucket.
After several hours, Snake Vargas and Ranger Team Bravo finally show up to the coordinates, pick up the remainders of the fallen hero, Olivia, and take her back and bury her in the Ranger plot where true heroes lie. They erect a ceremonial high scoreboard at Ranger Citadel, and Oh Honey and Dr. Fox have top billing, just under ass button poo, following historical documents of accurate arcade cabinets as logged in the archives.
All
That
right.
was fun.
Shoot, that was pretty good,
Good
man.
game,
I like
guys.
Robots and Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed
Good
it.
game.
Good game, y'all.
Yeah.
Good, mission accomplished.
Thanks for telling a story together.
Thanks to our star players. Thanks also to Jim Sorenson for building this epic RPG adventure system, lovingly crafted in the world that many of us have lived in for many, many years. And kind of getting back into it in this paper and pencil adventure really kind of breathed new life into it for us.
And thank you to our Kirk for all the preparation
the
and
supreme
adventure.
jerk.
They don't come more supreme or jerky than me.
I
Layers.
frequently stopped and very distinctly drank out of my inXile mug and held it to camera for a while.